can you sit through this next one? Bill Maher's interview on Pod Save America needs to be studied for how awkward it got, basically leading to Bill Maher just stepping up to leave. Just take a look for yourself and notice the tension building up between the two right from the get-go.
When Trump said there's only two sexes, again, pendulum swinging way too far to stupidity, okay? Obviously, sex is more complicated than just two sexes. Mm-hmm. There are people who absolutely, are quote-unquote in the wrong body. But when you're a kid, when even a teenager, and you're that confused about everything and you have no idea and you're upset for many other reasons, the idea that they put it, let me just finish.
I'm not saying it.
I know. I could see you were ready. I could see you pulling back the bow. And the fact that they put this in their head too much, that's my thing. Should you tell a kid, look, there's a default setting for humans, mm-hmm. male and female, but there are variations. That's absolutely true. Some people are attracted to people of their own sex, and some people are actually in the quote-unquote wrong body, and that does happen. But the amount that they emphasize this, I compared it once on my show to entrapment.
So
see, there you go.
I disagree. I'm sorry. Is that not the end? Is it?
No,
I thought entrapment had a period at the end.
Could I explain it?
Yes,
though?
Explain. I think we all get it, but yeah, explain it. Entrapment.
I don't think everybody does get it.
Okay, explain it.
Okay. Well, what is entrapment? Entrapment is when you suggest something to people mm-hmm. that they weren't ordinarily going to do. I use the example of after 9/11. The FBI got caught basically entrapping some people, which is what they went to people who excuse me, I'm not done.
All right, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Honestly, that was rude. That was rude. That was rude. Bill, finish. You're explaining how being trans is like being recruited into Al Qaeda.
Well, that's glib and
absolutely 100% glib. Stupid and glib.
It is.
Yes,
because it's not true.
Right.
And you didn't even let me get through the
You're
thing.
right.
And now I got to go.
You're just going to leave? We're in the middle of a debate.
Now, just to put it out there's not two sexes. Maybe you could say there's multiple genders because that's social construct, but this is just hard to watch. Judging from how naturally Bill's conversations flow on his own show, you have to really be bad at your job to mess it up like this. And remember, if you pull out a list of the biggest political podcasts in the country, you'd be surprised how most of them are conservative or libertarian, like myself. And Pod Save America is an exception to that as the largest left-wing podcast in the country, yet this is the caliber of conversation being had, much less with a guy like Bill, that already aligns with most of these worldviews. By the way, we're asking the hard questions that no one else wants to, so please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to never miss out. Now, what is worse is that I think Bill knew exactly what he was in for when he started the podcast, seeking a whole stack of question cards in his hand and just handed a hefty mic to hold for more than an hour of the podcast.
Bill Maher. Welcome, Bill.
That's the audience cheering.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
What do you do if you have a guest who has no arms?
Well, we do have boom mics.
How did that? Oh, then you just put it on.
We'd go to a boom mic.
Could I get that?
You want the boom mic?
No, I'm kidding. I'm just with you.
No, it's an important question. Honestly, that's why you're here. No one's ever asked us that question before.
After an hour, doesn't your arm get tired of holding the mic? I shouldn't say that. I've been a stand-up comedian my whole life.
Yeah,
All I do is stand on stage and
hold the mic. You can switch hands.
But it's different when you're
standing. You know how to hold the microphone.
Yeah, I do. So I'm
you're
sorry.
Okay. You got this.
Go ahead. Ask me your hard-hitting questions. Stop interrupting.
Right. I started. All right. Welcomed you. Okay, that's done.
Okay.
We like to start each episode with a land acknowledgement. We are on the land once occupied by Jeffrey Katzenberg and Quibi.
That's funny. We're keeping it loose. It's Bill. We don't have to always be.
And
we can go right to the politics because that's what I love about podcasting.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. There's no, we
look at all the cards you have there.
Yeah.
There's do we have to get all through all those before I can go?
I'll skip.
Wow.
I'll skip. Don't worry, we'll skip through some.
Because that's a lot of
Let's
cards.
see. There's one later that just says trans.
Your staff makes these for you?
Yes, they do. They do a great job. They're right over there. It's a great team.
Yeah.
It's a great team.
By the way, this guy, John Lovett, also worked as speechwriter for Barack Obama in his first term, which is an interesting contrast to how he's hosting this podcast for you to make sense of. And there's something he just kept doing over and over again that I think also turned off Bill Maher, which is almost treating him as an ideological opponent the moment that he disagreed or introduced a degree of nuance either on the trans debate or about Donald Trump. And that's just not needed. We've known Bill's position on these things for many years, practically my lifetime. And for some reason, the way John framed it felt like a microcosm of what the left does as a whole when someone steps out of line.
This is going to sound confrontational. For a long time, people said, older gay people are recruiting kids to be gay. And they wouldn't really be gay. It was they were being recruited, they were being groomed, that they were being drawn. That was their conservative position. The Christian right position for a long time was the reason you didn't want to have gay teachers is they're going to recruit. That the gay lifestyle is going to look so enticing and so exciting that it's going to bring these poor defenseless boys, they mostly boys, into the gay lifestyle and destroy their lives. But of course, that wasn't true. Really, all gay teachers were an example.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Look, there are a few examples of people getting older and realizing that they shouldn't have transitioned. That happens. It's real. That's real.
Yeah, more than a few.
But there are also really important surgeries that people get for their heart, and they go wrong, and somebody dies. And nobody says we must stop the cardiologists. No one says we must stop the surgeons. We say, let's...
That's your analogy?
Well, my analogy is only that... Wait, let me finish.
Can I finish? Yes.
Is it my turn to talk?
No, you're right.
And what you say is, let's make sure that this version of it is being practiced well. We don't get rid of the specific surgery. We don't throw out a whole field of medicine. We say, let's make sure we're doing it in a way that's healthy. The science, the research, all right, makes clear that, yes, there are exceptions. Yes, there are people practicing it in ways that maybe go too far. But for the most part, study after study shows that gender-affirming care saves... I'm talking. It's my turn. I was so quiet for so long after I interrupted a few times.
But okay.
But once I stopped talking, boy, I was good at it.
All right, that to me is just the single greatest sign that this podcast was going nowhere and Bill was getting agitated by the minute. If you're constantly having to interrupt and fight for your time to speak, then that means the conversation... it's just not flowing as naturally as it should. And maybe if you dig deeper, that stems from an attitude on the modern far left, where ideas aren't just allowed to churn and replenish with genuine debate and disagreement without being pushed to the back foot like this. That attitude simply isn't cut out for the world of long-form open-ended podcasting, and that's why there's so few notable politicians on the left that can survive 2 hours of unscripted, no-holds-barred podcast conversation. Isn't that exactly what you saw in this election? The new world of alternative media is also the new kingmaker in America, and we saw the left lose the plot even in the last Democratic ticket with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, basically absent from this world of podcast media. In other words, the lack of success that the Democrats have seen in new media is downstream from the culture of conversation on the left, and even Bill Maher understood that firsthand when he decided to just get up and leave to not waste any more of his time.
There is no perfect answer to this. It's as many nutty questions, the least bad answer.
And the least bad answer is to not have the government decide from above. It's just to leave it up to people and parents and the kids and the doctors, right? You want the government to ban gender-affirming care for kids?
You want to lose every election? Just keep coming down on the side of parents coming in second in a who gets to decide what goes on with my kid contest.
First of all, I'm not talking about winning or losing election. I agree with all that, but I'm just talking about the issue itself. What did that card say?
Can I take this one home as a souvenir? I'm going to put it in my scrapbook.
Let me see if I hit all my points that I wanted to make about this.
Okay. Boy, like they don't even see. Couldn't they have started? It says. My guest this week is Tough Hands Political Content Senator Bill Maher. Bill, couldn't they have started this on the next card? Don't you think that word Bill should have been started on the next card?
No.
I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble.
You got to go. That's good. That's it. You're just leaving?
Go. Yeah, I'm just leaving.
Bill Maher, everybody.
Thank you.
And that is just a snapshot of how the modern left just lost a figure like Bill Maher in the culture wars. He became a lot more critical of the Democratic Party, almost stuck in a middle with no political party that really channels the classic liberal and progressive worldview he remembers. And honestly, he's a stand-in for the many more people on the center and center-left that the Democrats lost to the other side in this election, flipping the balance to the Republicans in this last election. But let me know in the comments how you process this, because there are clearly a lot of work and introspections that we need to have done in order to win back both these influential figures, as well as the large electoral base that feels disillusioned from the modern left.